Is it truly him? Did my eyes deceive me? Delita, he lives.
The Order has been commanded to undertake an operation to eliminate the brigade.
All right, lads. Cut through these and we're as good as fled.
I hear you were decorated for your first victory, Ramza. They sing your praise from on high. You do honor to our name, my brother, and to me.
You nobles are all the same. What do you think makes you so special? Birth? Blood? We fight to end the aristocracy, not to become it.
All of Ivalice is in turmoil.
The crown strays. It must be led back onto the path.
Hear me, Ramza. Become a knight worthy of your name.
Fight with honor and trust in your steel. No holding back!
You are no more!
Take this! My only sister is taken by cutthroats, and you would have me calm?
I would not go out of my way to rescue some common maid.
Delita, we must away! Delita!
Ramza, you will know the path you must walk. A Beoulve can walk no other.
Hello everyone, welcome to the launch celebration of Final Fantasy Tactics, the Ivalice Chronicles. My name's Jesse Cox, and I will be your host for this stream. As I'm sure you know, I'm a long-time fan of Final Fantasy, especially Final Fantasy Tactics. It's one of my favorite games of all time. I played it all the time as a kid. That should tell you how long it has been in my life, and it is definitely one of those games that left an impact on me. Final Fantasy Tactics, the Ivalice Chronicles, releases on September 30th for Nintendo Switch 2, Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Xbox Series XS, and Steam. Now, this game is an enhanced edition of the genre-defining tactical RPG Final Fantasy Tactics, and it's special because not only does it bring the classic title to modern platforms, but brings quality of life to voice acting and all these various features in the game and so much more. I'm excited for that. You have no clue. As a streamer, having the voice acting, y'all, I do 4 voices tops. I'm not that great at it. So having real actors act, very thrilled about that. Also, more importantly, they've got this whole turn order side screen thing where you can see when you cast a spell, where that's gonna move you in the turn order, up or down. Those are the quality of life things I'm here for. So we've got an exciting show for you today. First, we'll get an exclusive preview of the Final Fantasy Tactics, the Ivalice Chronicles roundtable, featuring the voice cast and 2 directors. Then, I'll conduct my own interview with our special guests, Joe Pitts, the voice of Ramza, and Gregg Lowe, the voice of Delita. Afterwards, we'll hop into the game and check out the updates, visuals, and a bit of the story. Now, without further ado, let's check out the voice actor roundtable.
I was just wondering if you guys have any favourite lines from your characters. We'll start with you, Ben.
There have been lots of lines that I have said in this game, and actually, before I answer that, it has been very interesting seeing people message me and say, "I can't wait for you to say this line out loud," which has been quite nice. But the line I will choose for the purposes of this is, "I mislike the question."
Question.
I hate your question. Yeah.
Okay.
I think Dycedarg is, as I said at the beginning, some nasty things about him, but as we pointed out, he has to feel very vindicated in his actions because he does some abhorrent things, but I think he believes he does some abhorrent things for reasons that he believes to be true and honourable, and his version of honour may be warped in comparison to the point of view of what Ramza believes in, but he believes what he's doing is right and the betterment for his family and the betterment for his people. Like he has been taught to these things, he has learned these things, and he believes that that's the way he should be. And I think that line in particular is a fantastic distillation of his belief system, really. He's not a horrible person, he just has a misguided life. And
that's what we were working on, right? That's how you make him not a baddie, is by
justice for Dycedarg, everyone. Justice for Dycedarg.
Hannah?
One that sticks in my mind is when Agrias says, "Have you no pride, no honour?" And
again, these all feel quite personally directed at.
Sorry, Ollie. Just because there were so many lines with her where we spent loads of time peeling off the layer of like aggression and contempt that you naturally want to. You know, if you're saying to someone, have you got no pride, have you got no honour? But with her, it's like, it's not that. She's not coming at it with this kind of contemptuous attitude. It's that she doesn't understand how someone can be like that. Yeah. Because she is just a good egg. such a strong egg.
Yeah.
And honour and duty and all that kind of stuff is just in her bones, that she's just like, wow.
She's like one of the few genuinely just straightforwardly good people in the thing where there's no side to her, right? And that's what's really.
And that was the hardest thing it was hard to express it because with everything with her, there are emotions, of course there are, because she's a person, but it's encased in this military.
Encased in a almost like they were encased in a layer of plastic.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Oh, look at my hair. Yes.
Wow.
That's good, isn't it?
Hello.
Do you want to do the line?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you no pride? No honour?
And so that's the level of seriousness and gravitas we were working towards the whole time.
She's amazing. Oh, she's not going to stand up though, is she?
Yes, we're going to get her to stand up.
We'll get her to stand up.
Oh, look at her feet.
It's the last thing
She's got
we do.
jointed feet. Yes.
Nice.
Good.
Tim, what was your favourite line?
Can I have my one?
Sure.
No, you haven't got it, have you? So this isn't directed at you either, Ollie, in any way whatsoever. I won't remember the line. The language in this game is so florid and beautiful and far too long for my short-term memory to cope with. But there was one that I do remember which sort of encapsulates what a lot of voice sessions are about, because you have lots of wonderful dialogue. And then you have things like a disappointed exhalation.
Love those.
in the context of your character, and you'll say, so disappointed exhalation, just give me 3. Then you go, and you'll say, yeah, we'll take 2 and 3 as the alt. And then you move on.
I would do that. You animal. I would give you the background of why you were sighing. I would tell you what had just happened. I would do all of that.
No, because it's near the end of the session, so I'm in the groove. I know where we're at, and it's also part of a scene. So I know I had the feeder line. So, but those are the. I love those. But disappointed exhalation had a bit of Morgan written on it. That one. It was sort of. Could hear him.
I always like seeing those ones coming up the road because it's how you tell if somebody's, either used to this or game for something a bit interesting. And somebody you can just sail straight through disappointed exhalation with all the professionalism in the world.
Were there any favourite moments? We could maybe talk about favourite scene or favourite things about your character that you might want to revisit. I've got lots. If you want, you tell me yours, and then I'll tell you.
I have a favourite scene with my character.
Go on.
But for those who haven't played it yet, I don't want to spoil anything. But there's a moment of loss for Delita in particular, which is kind of the fulcrum of his whole character journey, and it was such a powerful scene, and so much emotion and journey comes out of it, and you understand Delita and where he goes with his storyline, with his personality, with his motivation for the rest of the game. That one scene is always, and there's one line in that scene which I'm not going to say, but there's one line in that scene that I think about all the time. That was. That I'm sure people will be able to work it out.
Yeah, that moment of crisis. I actually think that some exciting scenes early in the game where Delita and Ramza and Argath, played by the brilliant Ben Allen, are interacting and just epitomising these different worldviews, and this aristocrat keeps kind of needling Delita in this way, which kind of keeps nearly bringing out the darkness within him, and I just remember those scenes and you trying to keep them together, keep them, come on lads,
tension,
we're on the same
and
team.
the tension's building and building and building,
and to the moment of crisis you talk about, right? It absolutely, I think. Delita's just a fascinating character in terms of and maybe you could talk about what your character thinks about him and when you were kind of going through the game, but the moral ambiguity, is this ultimately what moral compass does he follow essentially, or is there one at all? What is your
It's difficult because I think Ovelia is she is a bit of a vulnerable character. She has this amazing strength, which we really played into. We didn't make her a victim. There were times where I felt like, as a character, I was being taken advantage of. And I was always in this state of who do I trust? Where do I go from here? But I sense even though my delightful co-star wasn't there in front of me, there was a chemistry, and there was something like love there for somebody that hasn't always had love shown to her. So it was a real mixed bag of emotions, and each time we went through the sessions, I found myself very confused, which I'm sure is how Ovelia would have felt.
Absolutely, being moved around, being influenced by all these things beyond the control.
He's very good at manipulating, isn't he?
Absolutely, a master, and then questioning her own self as well.
Yeah, because I guess with Delita, the question that everyone kind of asks is he a villain or not?
Yeah.
Based on his motivation for what he does, is he a villain or not?
Do you recall some of the scenes we would play later in the game as well, that sometimes the context and the kind of power he has over people would mean that you sort of play villainy. Do you know what I mean? You come into it and then we might do it again and just go play it as if you're the hero of this scene.
We really didn't want Delita to be like a mustache twirling sort of villain, and it's really easy with the story and some of the script to go down that route, and sometimes I was guilty of that. But you were very good at pulling me back and being, as you said, now try playing it as the hero, and it just gives us such a more nuanced read to the character, which Delita really needs, I think.
I think there's some incredible, specifically in that. I mean, ultimately, the three of you bring out these different things, and your three characters bring out these different things. There are some scenes with Ramza and Delita meeting later on in a church and those kind of things, and these moments of brotherly love, and the side that we haven't really seen of Delita, just kind of feeling the pull towards that person he used to be and all that stuff. I thought you...
that was one of the audition scenes, actually.
Was it?
Yeah, and that's one of the scenes I was referencing when I was talking about the script, you know, the heretic in a church.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think Ramza has just the most incredible story arc to play. I felt just like blessed to have that journey to go on. So sort of establishing him at the beginning of the story, when, you know, he's obviously from this noble family, but he's very much in the shadows of his brothers. And he wants to prove himself, and he wants to prove his worth and uphold the name. But then, of course, through sort of this backdrop of political turmoil and conflict, which he's very much involved in, he goes on this most incredible journey of sort of personal discovery. His whole belief system and moral compass gets questioned, and he has to reckon with that and come to terms with that, and ultimately make the choice which is right for him, and which takes a lot of courage to speak out against people and have conflict with characters who, from the beginning, they were on his side. One of the most exciting bits was coming back to characters which I had established some relationship with before. So again, there was a lot of pace that we looked at of how to pace the performance. So it was the same Ramza, but he'd gone through so much then by this point that his relationship has changed. He has more courage, he has more belief, more conviction. But what's it like when he rediscovers characters, and what's that initial moment like, and how does he then respond? So yeah, trying to sort of establish that journey was exciting. I think it helped that we recorded sort of throughout the storyline, really. We weren't
chronologically, that's something we were lucky enough to do, because the material was already, and sometimes with game development, like lots of kind of film and TV, you have to do things out of order, right? And you know, you're like, your friend's just died, right? Now you're meeting your friend for the first time and all that stuff. And like with this, because I think partly because it is an enhanced version of something which has existed for a long time, that means all the material is there. We can chart our courses in these directions. The script is ready, which is also a bit of a luxury in video games. So yeah, we kind of, there was a destination in mind, wasn't there?
Joe Pitts, Gregg Lowe, thank you for taking the time to talk with me. I'm really excited to delve a little deeper into your process and what it was like to play these characters.
Thanks for having us. It's really exciting to be here.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
How excited are you, speaking of excited, to hear your voice work in the game?
I'm really excited. I think we both are. We recorded this. Like it was a bit of time ago now. So we're kind of like with the fans as well, like watching the trailers for the first time and sort of getting immersed in the world in its sort of final form. So we're really buzzing for people to see it.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming, and the way we record it, we don't record together a lot of the stuff. So hearing it coming out in the trailers and the shorts and the videos, it's super exciting to hear everything coming together.
These are beloved characters. They are characters that I have fallen in love with, and I think many people over the years have. How do you think it's going to feel to hear your voices come out of these roles that we all love?
Very daunting, but and surreal, but overall just really, really excited. When I got the job, I knew that it was a big deal. I knew like Phil Lamar, for example, as like the original voice. So I did and I do still feel a bit of pressure on it, but the whole sort of recording process was so much fun. It was so enjoyable, so collaborative with our amazing directors that we kind of just got really immersed in the world. It sort of now, if I'm honest, when the trailers and stuff are coming out, it's sort of really sinking in that it's be out there and it's no longer ours as well. You know, when you work on a project, it's you're in the booth and you've got your headphones on and it's sort of your world. And now with this sort of lead up to the game coming out, it is definitely sinking in that our voices are going to be out there.
Totally.
And it's exciting.
And as you said, that like these are beloved characters, and so. I mean, I know for me, I'm sure Joe feels the same, but we had a real sense of responsibility to do justice to these characters because there's such a huge fan base already, and we want to, pay tribute to the success of these characters, but also bring something new to it as well. So, yeah, it's just it's really exciting.
Speaking of new or maybe something old, I don't know, but when you're in the booth and you are collaborating, you're working with the team and you're, styling this character, you must have a moment you were extremely proud of, like either a really great scream or a good line read or something that you were like, that, I walked out of the booth very pleased with myself. What is that for you?
You go first.
I mean, it's like being proud of your performance. I don't know, like it's, as I said, there's such a sense of responsibility that you you just hope that you're doing a good job. And obviously, like the way we don't know, we never know exactly what takes that are going to be used. So we do several different iterations of a line, different ways, and then it's up to the developers and the directors to sort of put all that together and choose. So, but having said that, I definitely had some favorite scenes, and specifically with Delita, he has these amazing, powerful scenes where his whole world changes. And it was so fun to play those scenes. I don't want to give too much away for people who haven't played the game yet, but fans of the game will know exactly the scenes I'm talking about. But those were really special moments to be able to play as that character.
Yeah, I would say, I think for me, if my directors were happy, then I was happy. I'd be like, okay, great, we've got something there. But yeah, likewise, I felt really lucky on this that I recorded quite late, so a lot of the other voice actors had already recorded their scenes. So yeah, there were some. I mean, often every scene I'd get to, there'd be new voice actors. I'd sort of say, "Oh, that's so good." Here my work there, like that's and that your job's kind of done for you already. Like you're already at that point because you're immersed in that world and you're just really reacting to the voices that you can hear. I love some of the scenes with my sister. There were some really heartfelt moments that, I felt like we really took our time. We took our time with all of it, but there were some moments that we really thought, oh, this is really quite profound. Like we need to get this moment. So yeah, a lot of concentration and just sort of investment, really. But yeah, I'm excited for to hear some of those scenes, I guess I say.
So in those moments when you're really in it, you're experiencing that scene of, for example, with Sister, and there's an emotional moment happening. How do you try to kind of nail that in a way more than, as an example, most voice acting is done in a booth with no one else around, and you have to sort of land a line of dialogue with minimal indication of who you're actually talking to. So when you have a voice in your head that's feeding in through the speakers or whatever, how beneficial is that to you as an actor? And is it fun to play off of those sort of voices, or would you rather just rattle off 30 lines and hope they land?
Yeah, for me, I mean, don't get me wrong, our directors are amazing. So when those lines aren't recorded, they are fully, I mean, Morgan and Ollie were investing in those lines on the other side of the glass. So you're still very much in the world and investing in it. But yeah, absolutely. I mean, like these performances are so stunning that you can't help but just sort of be taken away with it. And often actually, I wouldn't hear all of the lines before we just went into a take. So sometimes, like on first takes, it really is me as Ramza hearing those lines for the first time and being in the moment. And of course, then you might go back and do some pickups or like we could work on this. But Yeah, it's amazing actually how much just being in the moment and listening to those takes for the first time, just it carries your own performance, which is just, yeah, so helpful and beneficial.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I'd echo what Joe said, that our directors, Ollie and Morgan, were so good when we didn't have the other lines recorded. I mean, it was fine for Joe because he came at the end, everyone had done everything. He had an easy job, but they were so good, and they know the world inside out. So they're so great at giving us context of what's, specifically what's happening in this moment, and what, with all the other characters. So that is invaluable as an actor. But as Joe said, when you have the other person's actual delivery that they've chosen is going to be, it does change the way that you respond to what they're saying, because, you are responding, and it really shapes how the scene goes and how you perform your lines. In an ideal world, would be in the booth together and be doing the scenes together. And, that sometimes happens. It couldn't happen on this one, unfortunately, but, maybe it will happen in the future.
When getting into these characters, was there any sort of inspiration or anyone that inspired you in this role that you said, oh, I'm going to do it like this?
To be completely honest, I don't think there was. For me, I didn't know this game or this character before I auditioned for it and before I got the role. And I intentionally didn't then go, once I got the role, didn't go back and look to see what it was and to see how it's performed and stuff like that, because I wanted to come at it completely fresh. I wanted to sort of come at it with my own ideas and my own interpretation, because even with that in mind, if you go and watch, certain performances or even actors that you might want to base it on, it really might inform your decisions too much. So I kind of kept it sort of all, mysterious until I started.
Yeah, I'd say I'm quite similar. I had an idea of who he was, but again, when I first started the record on the first day, we had a real discussion before we actually got in the booth about who Ramza was, where we were going to take him, and where he started. And we didn't actually talk too much about the journey, because again, I was so lucky that we recorded it in sort of chronological order. So I really went through the journey like I was playing the game as Ramza. So for me, it was just really establishing where he was at the beginning, when he was at military academy, his relationships with Delita, and establishing his sort of young voice, because I actually did the game twice, definitely in terms of all the efforts and things like that. So I did young Ramza and then older Ramza. So it was actually really helpful starting with young Ramza in that position and just taking him through the game. And then once I'd really established where he sort of pitch was and where he was at, then I could sort of invest some of his sort of experiences in then changing his voice to get slightly older. Which was helpful because, when you've got so many efforts and, Greg, how there's a lot to do through. So it was, I didn't think of him as a different character when I redid them, but it was like, okay, I've now got an opportunity to find something else with the character as he's gone through this journey.
Yeah, it's quite interesting having to do that, having to play the character, because it's the same with Delita, because obviously they start off together as young cadets and then grow up. And it was quite interesting finding not just the pitch and the voice, but the attitude for the characters as younger characters and older characters. And I think that's what really sort of set it apart. But yeah, doing the efforts and the fighting and stuff as a young character and an older character, it was quite challenging actually to find the difference. But yeah, it works really well.
And it sounds like a lot of effort and time was put into this process. Do you have any fun stories from that, from in the booth or sitting around sort of planning how you're going to do the character or learning about the backstory, that kind of thing? Is there anything that stands out as that was pretty good?
Gosh, I mean, there were so many parts of it that were brilliant. I was really immersed. My memories of recording it, I was really immersed in that world, because I was recording sort of days and days and days, So I have sort of memories of I'd get the bus into Soho from my house, and every morning I would just sit on the bus. I have my script, and I sort of remind myself of where I'd gone, the night before, and where I was going to take him. But also, everything is clouded in secrecy. So a lot of the time, it was when I got in the booth was the time when I really, obviously I had my script, but there was, all the performances and things like that was, it was just so exciting every day hearing these new performances. And like I say, because I recorded in his chronological order, revisiting characters who I'd met, I felt like I'd met them days before and suddenly they were back, and I was having new interactions with them. But yeah, it was so immersive. So yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, in terms of interesting stories, for me, I had quite old Joe knows this, but I had a very Delita thing going on when we were recording. Halfway through our recording period, I had to have very unexpected surgery. And I had to go into hospital for a few weeks, and have a couple of surgeries. And then when I came out of hospital, I was all bandaged up, and I'd been cut open a load of different places. And it was at that point we had to do all the fight scenes and all the efforts. So there I was, Delita, wounded with bandages on, shouting, and I was actually going, oh God. So it felt very, it was very method. It felt very on point for the character.
It's very funny that, you have this Delita Gregg sort of combo coming together, and you're living in the real world, but still in that pain in the game. That's great. Joe, did you have anything similar where you had a little Ramza sneaking into your life?
My gosh, I don't know. I mean, sometimes I guess when I'd finish recording, if he was especially in a very heroic state or he'd really achieved something, it does change your energy and your breath and all of that stuff. So yeah, I guess sometimes maybe we'd be walking out of the studios in Soho with some confidence or
doing spells as you go through Covent Garden.
We did some of there were sort of incantations where just so heady that I think I would leave sometimes feeling a bit dazed, which maybe is Ramza. Maybe he was also quite dazed after he's been fighting.
And then, of course, because it's so shrouded in secrecy, you can't talk to anyone about any of this. So it's sort of all bottled up inside of you until you get to do something like this, and it all just comes out.
So besides physical wounds and casting spells, is there any thing about these characters that you would say is similar to you or completely different? I can think of a few ways probably completely different, but is there anything there that you're like, yeah, it was hard to get into the headspace of this character, or no, that I understood?
Yeah, for Delita, I think, how am I similar to Delita? Well, Delita is very loyal. I mean, he's very loyal to Ramza, ultimately, and he's very driven and very ambitious, I am very much like that in my life, but he's morally ambiguous. That I am not. Well, I hope not. And he very much manipulates people around him to get what he wants and to get where he wants to go. He plays everyone, and I do not do that. He also has amazing hair, which I do not. Oh, you. No, but the artwork for these characters, his hair, his the costumes, they look amazing, and their armor, their costumes and stuff, they're just incredible. And yeah, I kind of wish I had that fashion in real life.
You can make it happen. I'd say with Ramza, he's got a very strong moral compass and sort of fighting for what he believes is right. speaking out against injustice. I like to think I'm in line with him on that. And for me, one sort of connection, I guess, was his loyalty to family, and specifically, like actually, I mentioned it earlier, like his relationship with his sister. Like I've got a twin. I've got a twin sister, so that was kind of lovely to like connect with, especially with those scenes. So yeah, that was another similarity. I mean, I've got the biggest difference has to be our level of combat skills, surely. I mean, the dramas did stage combat, you know, which was a bit of sword fighting, but nothing compared to training in a military academy. So yeah, that was definitely the biggest difference.
Well, we can make that happen as well.
We can make that happen. We could do some more training together.
Yeah, training, cosplay, you can get this done. It won't take long.
I know.
Yeah, costumes and wigs and all that.
Yeah, just through the streets of London, dressed up, good to go. Yeah.
We're painting quite a picture here, aren't we? Incarnations through Covent Garden dressed up in wigs.
If you could communicate with your character based on everything you know and experiencing their life, if you could talk with them, what advice would you give them? What would you tell them? Like, hey, man, maybe cut that out. Or, hey, you're doing a great job. Or, yeah, no, I wouldn't have made that choice. Is there anything that you would tell your character?
I would definitely have a lot of respect for Ramza and say, wow, you are, you're really fighting for what you believe in. Maybe I'd tell him that he needs to have a holiday, just once, right at the end, once he's achieved everything he needs to achieve. Say, like please just go like lie on a beach and put your feet up and stop for a bit, because he doesn't stop, as you know.
Yeah. He is fighting, but you know, they are both fighting for what they believe in, but just in completely different ways, you know. And Delita just goes completely down the power route. And I suppose I would say to him, you know, just chill. There you go. You're good, man. You're good.
Same holiday. They could both just go and chill on the same beach.
Could go on the same holiday.
Yeah.
Well, because there's a real, you know, bromance between Ramza and Delita, and it's kind of heartbreaking that they are sent in opposite directions and never quite, you know, come back together fully. It's kind of, I always found that part of the story kind of sad.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because also we'd record those sort of flashback scenes for when they were younger as well. So again, we were sort of reminded of what their relationship was. How it's changed.
And it's still bubbling under in the later scenes, in the amazing cut scenes, which were fantastic to voice the original artwork. Some of those scenes, like the scene in the church with the two of you. That was actually that. I'm sure I can say this, but that was actually the audition scene for me. I don't know about you, but what was the line? Something like a heretic, a prayer in a church, passing bold Ramza. And it was such a cool scene. And then so when we came to record that in the sessions, I was like, oh yeah, and it just looked amazing.
It's got me the job. I've got it down.
Yeah, I got it down.
That's when you get really heavy, because then you're like, wait, I'd got this line and I got a job from it, so wait, now I need to.
I don't know about you, but I like hearing the audition. I somehow heard it back. I don't know if they played it back at the beginning or just to sort of like get you back into where you were. How different was your performance to the audition?
It definitely changed. I think again.
I think it changed quite a lot. Yeah. Not you. I'm not speaking for you. I'm talking for me.
Yes. The performance changed.
So God, it changed.
Yeah. Again, I think they were focusing maybe in the audition, if I remember, focusing on like a young Ramza, and then like where can we take him? So I think maybe that was where I was focusing on. So then it was really fun as we went through the recordings to like show his maturity and explore where that goes in his voice.
So what are your favorite things about not just your character, but the other's character as well.
Would you like to go first?
Oh, gosh, I mean, we touched on it a bit, but I think their friendship is so important and is so key to the story. And again, they're so, can be very single-minded, driven, courageous, spirited. I think they're both coming from similar places, which is why I think they have that friendship. Why they were so close, when they were growing up together. So, yeah, likewise to sort of what Gregg was saying about what he sees in his similarities, I guess, with Delita, I definitely respect that in his character.
I was just going to say, for Delita, I actually love his moral ambiguity. That sounds quite weird to say, but it's such a fun thing to play. Like as an actor, the role of Delita is just such a dream role because he has such an amazing journey, and that coldness and that mercifully, what was I going to say? Yeah, the coldness and the cold and calculating nature of Delita is just so fun to play. I love that part of his character. And Ramza, what I love about Ramza, when I heard Joe's voice for the first time playing Ramza, I was like, that is Ramza. He's he has this strength, but he's so earnest and so hunting truth, and it comes through so much in Joe's voice. I just love that flavor. Whatever he did, it's perfect. He nailed it.
Oh, well, that's very, very kind. I remember saying it when I saw our first scenes. I was like, "Who is that? Who is playing?" Because we don't actually often know who we're acting with sometimes. So I remember thinking, "Oh, who is that? Who is that actor?" Because Gregg just kind of masters this kind of real intensity and grit, but you also manage to kind of sprinkle it with this kind of warmth and friendship, which meant I was sort of so invested in their relationship that, yeah, without giving too many spoilers, when you go on this journey together and they face some challenges, let's just put it like that, between the two of them, I hope it pulls at the heartstrings, because it definitely did when we were acting in the booth.
Yeah, and it's funny because we were recording this for a long time and had never met each other until we'd finished. But then we met each other and it was like we already knew each other because we'd spent so much time with each other's voice. Like, oh yeah, of course it's you.
Yeah, that is a very strange experience, actually, like meeting someone where you know their voice so well and have these memories and shared like an investment in their voice and your relationship with that voice, and then you're putting the voice to the face. But I think it was really cool, really exciting.
Yeah, having seen as much as I have of this game, the two of you are fantastic. I must stress this. For those at home, incredible work here, and I am a huge fan. But now it's time for an important question. Some might say the most important question. If you could have a chocobo from Final Fantasy Tactics in real life, which color would you choose? Yellow, black, or red?
Well, yellow's like the original, so I feel like maybe I'd like to have the OG.
Yeah, you can have yellow.
I'd go yellow.
I think I think black, although red is more powerful, right? I think. Yeah, red is more powerful. But I think black is more Delita. So and the black chocobos can fly. So, and I'd quite like to, fly around on my chocobo. And I just think black is more Delita. So yeah, it would have to be black for me.
All right, both great answers. I would choose red for pure power. That's what I'm after. I want people to fear me. Whenever I'm riding around, they're like, that guy's trouble. That's what I want. Yeah. But yellow's all right, I guess.
People already fear Delita, so I don't need to be.
You don't need to show off. I don't
need to show off.
Really, it's a sign of my weakness that I need the red one to do anything.
Not me.
Sure. So before we wrap up here, is there any sort of message you would like to send to the players who will experience this game at launch? Any parting words to them?
Just have the best time. Maybe book a week off work for the launch week, so you can just sit and play through the whole thing. Just do it. But we had an amazing time making this game, and we really hope that comes through in the final product. And we just really, really hope that you enjoy it and that we've done it justice.
I echo all of those sentiments. It's such a team effort as well with this game. I mean, aside from all the voice actors, the directors, the amazing engineers, I mean, there's just so many people involved that have made this game what it is. So yeah, I think it's just really exciting that it's coming out. We are really excited that it's finally coming out and that we can talk about it.
He's Ramza through and through. You see, he's Ramza through and through for the people.
No, we are really excited to play it, and we hope everyone else is.
Anyway, gentlemen, thank you for your time. Thank you for bringing these iconic characters to life. It has been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you so much, and enjoy, everyone.
Okay, let's move on to the sneak preview of the game. Don't forget, Final Fantasy Tactics, the Ivalice Chronicles, releases on September 30th on Nintendo Switch 2, Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Xbox Series XS, and Steam. And you can still pre-order today. All right, let's jump into this thing. We're going to do the Ivalice Chronicles, but if you're looking for a more classic experience, you can select classic instead of enhanced, but we're going enhanced. This one doesn't have the voice acting, doesn't have some of the things that this has. So if you want a more modern take on Final Fantasy Tactics, this will be the way to go, and that is exactly what I want. So let's start game. Even the music, I'm so excited. Those are some crazy zodiac symbols in the background. I hope that doesn't play any sort of important role. New game. For the sake of this, we'll go knight. I'm not too stressed, but if you want to be a squire, don't let anyone shame you. A squire is a mighty job. Tactician, you're too cool for me, so knight it is. Well, obviously. May. And then 18. Send your birthday wishes, May 18th. Hello, fellow Tauruses. Yes, start.
I am Arazlam J.D. For the greater part of my life, I have been a student of Ivalice's middle age. You are familiar with the War of the Lions, no? It was a bitter war of succession that rent the land of Ivalice in two. Here we first find mention of Delita Heiral, the hero who would draw the curtain on this dark act of our history. His is a tale of great renown, familiar to all who dwell within our land. But, as we well know, what the eye sees is oftentimes a mere fragment of the truth. There was another young man, Ramza Beoulve, the youngest son of House Beoulve, famed for producing leaders of men. There is no official record of the role he played on history's stage. However, according to the Jurai papers, which had long lain concealed in church archives, this forgotten young man was in fact the true hero. The church maintains he was a heretic of the highest order, an inciter of unrest, who blasphemed the gods and profaned the godly. Which of these two accounts is to be believed? Join me now in my search to uncover the answer, the truth.
I love the book ending here. Oh, this is wonderful. Yo, we're getting what? I'm so pleased right now. I cannot stress this enough. I love the original art being used in the animation and just the style of this. Oh, this is wonderful. Oh, this setup is so good. It's going to put us right in the beginning. Even when Delita kind of goes off, it makes perfect sense. Oh, I love this. I don't want to spoil anything, but I'm really enjoying that. That was great.
Abandon not your wayward children of Ivalice, but deliver us from our sins, that we might know salvation.
Lady Ovelia, it is time.
I'll not be much longer, Agrias.
Your escort has already arrived.
Please, heed the good lady's words, Highness. You must hurry.
Still in here, are you? It's been the better part of an hour.
Gafgarian, you forget yourself, sir. You are in the presence of the princess.
Mayhap bowed heads would less offend. But you would do well to waste less time on idle pleasantries.
I see even the noble Order of the Northern Sky cannot rid itself of vulgar knaves.
A guard captain in these rain-sodden hinterlands ought not to expect chivalry. We are in the employ of the Order, not of it. Our pay does not cover trite courtesies to the likes of you.
Govern your tongue.
Enough. Let us be on our way.
The Father watch over you, child.
And you, Elder.
Milady, the enemy is upon us.
You got Tanner's men?
We are paid for this. Time to earn our keep. What is it, Ramza? You above getting paid to do a job?
I'm a knight no longer. Just another sellsword.
Right then. To battle.
Deliver us, O Lord.
I have so many things to say about what characters I'd like and how excited I am to see this, but I also realize a lot of that is spoilers, and so I'm just gonna...
They bear the crest of the Black Lion. Duke Goltanna must be mad.
You there, wench! It is useless to resist. You will surrender the princess. If not, well, I would hate to see anything happen to that pretty face of yours.
A head on a sword? These swords of Goltanna, lack wits one and all.
In that case, we should be able to handle this without you, Gafgarian.
Mayhap you could, but there's no money to be made in that. Lad, Ramza, with me.
Hey, there's the battle music. Great.
Kill them all! Leave no man standing!
You would have us slaughter them? Are you mad? Kill them here, and you'll have played into Duke Goltanna's hands. We need only put them to rout.
I find dead men rout more easily.
My turn.
Okay. So, in the first battle, right? Okay, yeah. I played this. I know what's up. In the combat theater on the side, you can kind of see what's going on and, you know, judge your move based on the turn order. Great. Okay. So here's the thing. Part of me seems to recall something happens back here, but I can't remember if that's a story beat or I should send Ramza back there. So I'm not gonna do that, but just know I'm thinking about it and really want to. All right, let's move you. Uh-oh. Movement in battle. Reposition your boy. Got it. Do I want to send him over there? Yes. Why not? Okay, I have abilities in battle, right? Based on what I have equipped, and then I can meddle. I can throw a stone at them, which could be fun. I could rush a guy, which could be fun. But let's attack.
It's over! I can't go on.
Cool! Get wrecked, idiot! And then I will continue to face forward. You can sort of move where you want to go right now. And I'm going to face forward.
Time to work.
And continue. So at this point, Gafgarian's just going to do his thing. Which is pretty awesome.
Everything lost.
Come then. Senses keen.
We can win this.
Ooh, okay, all right.
The battle is ours.
That's all right. That's all right. Get him, lad. Or not. Lad was like, "Don't involve me in this."
Will unencumbered, by darkness empowered. Shadow Blade, you're done for.
But how?
This fleeting life, cling to it not. Embrace inevitable end. Judgment Blade! Nothing to fear. You're mine.
Ooh, okay. Save some for me. Oh, all right. Come on, lad. I believe in you.
It's time.
All right. Let's, yeah. From the top. Whoa! Oh, he's too strong for me. All right, I'm gonna move. Let's go. Yeah, we'll hide here.
I am ready.
Leave it to me.
Poor lad.
Farewell.
Let's go.
Okay, yeah, no, that did the damage, all right. So yeah, this is great because clearly you recognize the guy we're fighting as the dude who drew his sword in the opening cinematic, and yeah, you're probably wondering what happened to that other guy. Where'd that other guy go? I guess we'll find out. Abilities, let's meddle and throw a stone. Or not. All right, then I guess we'll just, patiently wait.
Only one thing for it. Come along.
I let my guard down.
That's our boy lad. 2 Ds for don't die. Live a lot, don't die. Lad. There we go. All right. Finally.
Unhand me!
No! Lady Ovelia!
This way. Hurry up. And try making a little less noise.
I'll not take orders from you!
You've quite a mouth on you, Princess.
Hold there!
I think not. If you feel wronged, blame yourself or the father.
Damn.
This cannot be.
Delita. He lives. But why does he serve under the banner of Duke Goltana? I do not understand.
Hey! Earned that.
Records of the hero Delita Heiral
First appear 1 year before the outbreak of the War of the Lions. The loss of the 50 Years' War saw Ivalice paying enormous reparations and ceding vast swathes of land to Ordalia, the victors. Knights and sellswords returned from the front to find their homes razed and loved ones slain. Compounding their woes, they were denied pay for their service and stripped of their livelihoods. This ill treatment led many to abandon their fealty to the crown and the nobility. Once loyal soldiers became rogues and traitors, donning the thief's cloak and plotting treason. It was a time of great unrest for Ivalice. Murder and theft were commonplace. Many were the young adventurer and mage who stepped forward to counter this threat. Of these, the city of Garland too saw its share. It was there that our tale began, a year earlier.
Did you hear? Another Wayne was struck last night on its way to Egros.
I'll be honest, I am completely fascinated by all this because as a Final Fantasy Tactics fan, when I say I'm a Final Fantasy Tactics fan, I mean 1998 Jesse was playing Final Fantasy Tactics. I think the last time I played it was the early 2000s, but I never got a chance to play any of the updated handheld ones or anything like that. It just never got to happen. So experiencing this, I don't know if this was in the original. I just can't remember, but I know I like this. I like the way this story is being told. It kind of feels like a whole new experience for me. I obviously remember the fights, but the storytelling, I don't know if it's just the voice acting doing it for me or what it is, but I very much enjoy this.
The Corpse Brigade again.
'Tis long past the hour for drills. What is happening, I wonder? Delita, what do you suppose this is about?
I could hazard a guess.
Oh? Do tell.
I think Duke Larg is coming to Garland.
Duke Larg? Why?
Not just the Duke. The Marquis Elmdor de Limbury, too.
That's the first I've heard of it. This has not the sound of a state visit.
All of Ivalice is in turmoil. The Order's supposed to be keeping things under control, but the fact is, they number too few.
And they mean to bolster their numbers with us.
All right, everybody, fall in. The Order of the Northern Sky has an assignment for its Knight's Apprentice. As I'm sure you're already aware, the number of brigands roaming Galleon is on the rise. Among them, the Corpse Brigade, a seditious lot with a grudge against the very crown they had served. Rogues such as they must be dealt with. The Order has been commanded to undertake an operation to eliminate the Brigade. An operation of a grand scale. We will not be acting alone. The Order will be joined by, among others, His Excellency Duke Larg's Royal Guard. This will leave Egro's castle undermanned. Your task will be to proceed there and support us from the rear by bolstering its defenses. Remember, you represent the Academy itself. Noble or otherwise, your actions reflect upon us all. Fight with honor and trust in your steel. Twould seem the time to take up arms is already upon you, young apprentices. I've just received word that a band of thieves, routed by our knights, flees here to Garreland, where the bustling streets will only aid their escape. We will move to stop them and finish the task of our brothers. You, young apprentices, will accompany us. This is but a squall before the storm of battle. Prepare yourselves
Hey, I know
once
that guy.
dismissed.
Cool.
Let's be on our way.
Cool. So there are your guest units, like Delita, for example, in this. Any others? Nope. All right. Locations list. All right, well, let's go. I'm really enjoying this so far. It's like a trip down memory lane, but you kind of forgot the path, and so I get to experience it all over again. This is good stuff. Okay, so that's where we're gonna cut it for the gameplay section right now. Obviously, we're trying to minimize spoilers, and thankfully a lot of that wasn't too spoilery. I'm enjoying this tremendously. This is, it almost feels like a new experience, even though I've played Tactics 5-6 times all the way through. This feels new and fun, and I'm back in it in a way that I like. Right now, I'm gonna put this controller down, but I'm letting you know, I want to keep playing. And I want to get into it when it's more than just squires and chemists, when we're really starting to get crazy with some of the jobs, and we're doing some really cool tactics. That's the whole point of this game, are the cool tactics. And so, yeah, I must stress, it's one of my favorite stories. I can't wait to experience it again, and I can't wait for you to experience it if it's your first time. It really is one of those games where you're gonna walk away from it and be like, damn! So, yeah, this is great. Thank you so much for sticking around to the end. Final Fantasy Tactics, the Ivalice Chronicles, is out September 30th on Nintendo Switch 2, Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Xbox Series XS, and Steam. Pre-order now and receive special in-game pre-order bonuses. Thank you again. I've had so much fun. It was great to play the game, and I can't wait for you to play it. If you want to be kept up to date on what's going on with Square Enix and Final Fantasy, be sure to follow the official social channels, which will be listed below. Thanks again, and I hope you enjoyed the game as much as I did when it releases. Bye.